Billy Napier and the Florida Gators are going to start their freshman 5-star quarterback, DJ Lagway. Sounds like Graham Mertz is still suffering from a concussion.
Do you think if Graham Mertz didn't have a concussion, he would start?
Somebody say
here's why.
That's the ultimate question.
Here's why. Billy's on his, it's a Creed song right now. He's 6 feet from the edge and he's thinking, maybe 6 feet can be saved by DJ Lagway. This kid is uber talented. All right, I think one of the biggest fears out of Florida fans, because I think a lot of them have maybe already accepted that Florida's not going to be that good this year, or they're not going to be some surprise team that shocks everybody with this schedule, is that if Billy goes, is he going to be at Georgia next year? Or is he going to be at Bama next year? Because this is your golden goat right here. DJ Lagway can play. He's going to make mistakes, but there's not a better time for him to start than a team like Samford. This is Billy's life raft, man. So this is
You're having to use it week 2.
You have to. Well, David, you know as well as I do, the man's seat is hotter than Sidney Sweeney running down a beach in a bikini.
But it's not because of quarterback. That's why I hate about this so much.
That is true.
Graham Mertz hadn't been the
problem. Not the problem.
And so now, if DJ Lagway comes in and balls against Samford,
it's going to look like
he solved all the problems
not a bad team,
against lesser competition. And then you may find out you're in even a worse situation come week 3 or week 4.
But with all that negativity, let's just run the scramble out for a second. Florida fans, I want to know what you think. Again, the phone line's going to open 1-855-236-3228. My phone died, so I don't know what time it is right now. You boys let me
2:38.
2:38, so 7 minutes. Let's say DJ Lagway comes in and Florida goes 5-7 and he looks really good. Like there's some downs, but there's some ups and some big-time moments. Like he makes some plays against some of the top-tier teams, and you're like, I can see that this guy is going to be special. Mm-hmm. Could this actually, even with all the negativity,
no.
Could it save Billy?
No. You go 5-7, you're gone. I don't care if Moses is in the backfield holding up his staff. If they go 5-7, you're fired.
Well, it's again though that I don't think you're wrong, but is that the thinking here? Now I know you're almost forced to do it because of the concussion. I get that, but that's why I think he would still do it, because that last hope, that last word to the AD on the phone, I've got my quarterback.
Maybe.
I've got
guarantee,
my quarterback.
There's no guarantee that if you keep Billy Napier that DJ Lagway won't still transfer.
That's true, but it's a guarantee that he's good. I don't know if there's not a guarantee that he stays if Billy is fired.
This year,
I know what's going to happen.
This is year 3 for Billy, right?
Yep.
Okay. And Dan Mullen got fired what year?
God, I mean 3 years. Yeah,
year 4. Go look at Dan Mullen's record and what he got fired and where Billy Napier is right now.
You don't got to convince me, dude.
I'm not convincing you. I know. I'm just for the fans out there.
Dan Mullen went 10-3 in 2018, 11-2 in 2019, 8-4 in 2020, and then he was 5-6 when he got fired in 2021, and Greg Knox, I guess, took over.
Yeah, it's to the point now where you're just trying to find some hope if you're a Florida fan.
Look.
And DJ Lagway is the beacon of hope.
I agree with that. You're right. Right now, your hope, if you're a Florida fan, is that Ohio State loses to Michigan. Okay?
And Ryan Day
doesn't win the Natty. They'll lose 2 games. Ohio State will fire Ryan Day. Then he can walk his happy ass right into Gainesville.
That would be, people are saying Urban Meyer. I don't think there's a chance Urban Meyer ends up. I don't. And the Lane Kiffin thing. I just want to make this point. Florida is an incredible job. All right, it's an incredible state to recruit. The fans are loyal and passionate. It is a top job in the country. Don't ever let anybody tell you it's not. But why would Lane Kiffin leave Ole Miss? You're in the perfect situation. Think about it. Lane Kiffin's had the big-time jobs. He was the youngest head coach in NFL history at the Raiders. He was the head coach at Tennessee. He was the head coach at USC. This is like a Goldilocks porridge situation. Man, this one was the NFL job and all that. Oh, that porridge is too hot. Oh, being an assistant, that porridge is too cold. This Ole Miss porridge, though, it's just right. You get the players in there, the NIL's coming in. It's an incredible college town, right? You've put in the work to get them to this point. People are looking at Ole Miss different, and you can win 9 games a year at Ole Miss and be a hero forever. You can do it your way. They're not going to sit here and make you try and be something you're not because it's a bigger place and this is the way that we're going to do it. So if I'm Lane Kiffin, why would I want these problems? I'm good here. I'm looking at Ole Miss. They're one of the top 5 teams in the country.
Yeah, and I think that the way this year plays out for Lane Kiffin will be sort of an indicator on what he does in the future. I mean, we've seen him win double-digit games, twice in the last 3 years. It's can you get over that next hump, right? Can you really be competitive in the postseason? Now that the playoff is tripled, there's even more pressure to do that. What's interesting, though, is always the timing of this. That Florida job, if they move on from Billy Napier, they're going to do so before Lane Kiffin's full season would have played out.
And if you're another reason Lane's in the perfect position is, guess what? All these rumors about going to Florida, you don't have to come out and say anything. You can have in the back of your mind, I'm not going to Florida, I'm not going anywhere. But I'm sure as hell going to leverage this to raise that price up. Because when you're hot, that's when you press them. Okay, look, Ole Miss having a big year. Let me set the scenario. Ole Miss is having a huge year. Banner year for Ole Miss, something like they've never seen because this team isn't doing it by trying to invent ways to trick you. They're just lining up and kicking your ass. All of a sudden, Florida fires Billy Napier halfway through the season. Ole Miss is here, Florida's down here. All these people are talking. Lane Kiffin to Florida. Just like we always see whenever there's an open job in the SEC. We saw it at Auburn. We see it everywhere. Lane is going to leverage that to get paid even more money. And guess what? Ole Miss going to pay it because they've got to pay it. This got Jimmy Sexton special written all over it. So if you're Lane, you're in a beautiful predicament.
And if you're Florida, if it does go bad with Billy, there's always a guy walking around Tuscaloosa waiting for a phone call.
He's just trying to push it.
Nate Oates is ready to coach football, guys.
This guy.
He's ready to coach football. Please get him out of Tuscaloosa.
Hey, YouTube, 150,000. We're just getting started, though, right? We don't rest on our laurels. We fly even higher. Let's get to 200,000 by tomorrow. I dare you.